Hi everyone, it's me again. Merry Christmas. I thought I'd add a little bit of nice backdrop. I thought that would be a nice kind of setting for the skill, that we're going to learn today. I just wanted to say too, thank you to everybody who commented and who watched the last video about COVID and the brain, and just thanks for supporting others, and if you were able to share that with anyone who you thought might benefit, thank you so much. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit more about mindfulness. We talked last time about kind of the brain and how our window of tolerance shrinks down the more it's exposed to excessive stress. And really mindfulness is the key to getting that to widen back up. And so just with that in the back of your mind, I know that there's a lot going on right now. It's Christmas time. I was out yesterday and thankfully there was a lot of hustle and bustle, which was both nice and, for many also anxiety provoking. So just thinking of you all in this time and understanding that we're all in a different space, and given everything that's going on with the vaccine, there's lots of different emotions going on. And I know that there's a lot of hope, which is wonderful, and some fear, which is not so wonderful. So just wanted to make sure that we're all taking some time to kind of breathe and to just be mindful and be able to be with ourselves and kind of have just a few moments, if nothing else, to try to get ourselves a little bit grounded during this time. So the practice that I'm going to share with you today is just kind of a brief, I'm going to keep this really short this time because I know everyone's got a lot going on. And so we're going to just take a moment to be mindful. So being mindful is, a really simple concept. Although a lot of times we can think about meditation, and meditation can be mindfulness, but it doesn't have to be meditation to be mindful. So being mindful just means that your mind is full of one thing at any given moment. It's not filled with all this clutter, and our minds naturally, all of us, have kind of a monkey mind where we're just swinging from one thought, one worry, one thing to another. And before you know it, especially when you get emotions involved, it just kind of snowballs and we can find ourselves in a really uncomfortable space. So mindfulness is a great way to kind of get your feet back on the ground. It could be anywhere from 2 minutes, 2 seconds even, to an hour or more, just depending on how you want to do that. And there's a lot of resources which I'm going to be posting for people to access in between these sessions, skills, I guess. And so I would encourage you guys to be taking a look at that and just kind of be thinking about how you could be developing a practice of mindfulness on a regular basis in the absence of distress. So when we practice something in the absence of a problem, we're much more quick and apt to reach for that resource in a moment of distress. When our brain has kind of a concept, a new pathway, like we talked about last time with the cornfield, and going through that and creating a rut. Well, we can create positive ruts and we can create negative cognitive ruts or patterns. And so the more that you practice in the absence of distress, the easier it's going to be to pull from that in a moment of distress when we're not really thinking, right? The brain will sometimes go offline when it is especially when it's interpreting threat. So we see this happen in couples a lot of times when they're arguing. You have two brains kind of arguing back and forth, and each brain has an amygdala. And the amygdala is the alarm system of the brain. And when one person's alarm system goes off, a lot of times it sets the other ones off. And so when I work with couples, my goal is to get them to be calming each other's amygdala as opposed to setting each other's amygdala off. And then when the amygdala is going off, we can't problem solve, we can't rationalize, we can't access mindfulness in that moment as easily if we're not in that habit. And so I want to invite everybody to just close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If not, looking down at the floor or looking down at a soothing object is a great way to go. We're just going to take a few mindful breaths. Nice deep inhale through the nose, nice cleansing exhale out the mouth, and just kind of slowing our synapses down a minute, grounding. As you inhale, notice your belly rise. As you exhale, notice it fall. Just observing the body's tendencies as you breathe. Maybe even following that pathway of the air as it enters through your nostrils, goes down the back of the throat, into your chest and abdomen. And really working to get that belly full, completely full, relaxed. We don't have to impress anybody. This is why I've got my belly below the camera right now. But just really feel that full of air. You want to get that abdomen completely full and completely empty. As you inhale and exhale, I would invite everyone to bring their hands into a position like this, like you're holding maybe a handful of sand and you don't want to lose it, right? If you grip really tight with sand, kind of like with people, they slip through our hands. And so I want to invite you to just open your hands up, and I want you to imagine your fear, your threat, as an object, a ball maybe, or it could be a square, it could be any shape. And I want you to just explore what that may look like for you. And imagine that that object has a sensation. It could be spiky, it could be smooth. And I want you to just kind of notice if it had a tactile feel to it, what that would be. And I want you to continue taking those mindful breaths as you just explore this. Imagine it as a kind of a neutral object. It's not in you, it's not surrounding you, you're holding it. Right? And with this practice, we want to resist any urge to throw it. I know we want to get rid of fear, but we have it in this moment, and it's okay to have it. So, but we also can kind of give ourselves a little bit of distance from that fear by holding it in our hand. And so, as we're exploring the tactile feel of that little ball or square or whatever of fear, I want you to move into if it has a color, if it's heavy or light. It could be transparent, could be anything. You decide. And just give yourself a moment to kind of spend some time with this object, this fear object. And the goal being that we're going to kind of make friends with the fear. When we resist something, it intensifies the emotion. Resistance intensifies emotion. So the goal is we want to try to allow whatever is coming up. We want to allow fear as an acceptable human experience. You know, it doesn't have to be fear either. It could be any emotion at all. And you can imagine that you're kind of rolling this object in between your hands and what that might feel like. And just spending some time noticing that. And notice if there's any body sensations that are coming up for you as you're doing this. And kind of have that same relationship with those sensations of just observing without resistance. So the name of the game is allowing. We don't want to resist, and we don't want to cling on. So neither of those extremes are going to be really helpful. We need something kind of in between where you can experience an emotion or a thought and just notice it without having to control anything about it. When we can melt resistance, we'll melt intensity. We don't want to take that emotion away. We want to make it manageable, right? Emotions, they're there for a reason. And you can, by the way, you can open your eyes now and just kind of take another deep, nice cleansing breath and kind of get that out. So yes, we want to experience emotion, but we want to make it tolerable, right? And that's what mindfulness is going to do. Mindfulness is not going to take away your feelings. I'm sorry. That's not the point. We all suffer. We all have distress. And that's a good and healthy thing, that our bodies are designed, you know, we talked about last time that we're designed to detect threat, and that's really to keep us safe. Emotions have all kinds of purpose. They, each and every one of our emotions has a reason attached to it that we have it. You know, we are created, you know, whatever you believe, we are definitely designed to act and to perceive and to keep ourselves safe. And you know, at the very core, we are all made to just keep ourselves safe above all things. And so when that amygdala is going, this is something that we can do to just kind of try to make that a little bit more tolerable. Okay, so I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Please keep the comments coming. Please message me if you have questions. Please share with people that you think might benefit from this. We all are in this together. Again, we're in the foxhole. And I just want you all to know that in this foxhole, I totally have your back. And so just let me know, shoot me an email, message me. You can also text me. I think I put my phone number on there last time, 775-338-3786. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. And